contribute to this process every year. First of all, our staff does a wonderful job of developing relationships with these young men, but we get a tremendous amount of support in the university community, all the way from Dr. Witt, who helps us recruit. Al Moore does a fabulous job. We have a lot of faculty and people around here who sacrifice Saturday after Saturday to sort of have these guys be able to see what their academic future holds for them here, and we certainly appreciate those efforts. I think our fans, who create a wonderful environment and atmosphere for our players to play in. Every time we play a game and we have recruits there, they're excited about the opportunity to play at the University of Alabama. All those who have done so much to create the tradition here, the hard work that they've put in, all those things contribute in a positive way to us being able to have a successful recruiting year. I think we filled, some needs, with this class. We started out with sort of a goal of explosive players on offense, running back, receiver, those kinds of guys, and we felt good about the guys that we were able to attract from that standpoint. We're obviously losing, a lot of very, very good defensive players, and even though we have some good defensive players here, we felt that it was really important to have a really good year on the defensive side of the ball, and we feel good about the 5 defensive linemen, 5 linebackers, 4 DBs that we were able to attract in this class, and certainly the fact that we feel like we got a great specialist in the kicker that we got this year, and how he can contribute to in the future is very, very positive. We're also able to get some offensive linemen, even though we've got lots of people coming back there. That's a developmental position that these kind of guys are certainly the kind of guys that you want to have in your program to be able to develop for the future. I say this every year, but recruiting is not an exact science, and no one knows for sure how these players are going to develop in the future. And that's certainly something that we work hard on here as coaches and teachers, is to help these players develop, but how adolescents are going to respond 2 or 3 years out, nobody can really predict, that. And so we do feel like these young men were recruited here because we felt that they could be successful at this institution. And we also know that sometimes, programs are judged just on how many games they win. But I think we pride ourselves in the kind of program we have here, and helping the people that are in our program have a better chance to be successful in life because they were involved in the program. And that comes on the personal development side of people making good choices and decisions about what they do and what they don't do so they can take advantage of their gifts. On the academic side, in terms of the history of academic success that you create for these young folks, and the fact that we had 38 players this past year make SEC honor roll, which I think is a record all time in the SEC, is pretty significant. When they rank the top 10 finishers in the BCS and match them up with the graduation rate, Stanford's first and we're second. So a lot of those things contribute to helping players be more successful in life. I mean, we certainly want to help them develop as football players, and we've had some success doing that in terms of the team success we've had, as well as the number of players that have gone on to contribute, be able to develop careers as football players and play in the NFL. So we're excited, pleased. I think our coaching staff did a fabulous job, not only in recruiting these guys, but the evaluation process that is always critical, especially early on, to decide who the people are that can be successful in your program.
Questions? We'll start here.
2 questions, Coach. You had Landon Collins commit to you earlier today. How much upside does a player like that have, and do you think he'll be able to make an immediate impact as a freshman next year?
Well, we feel like Landon Collins is an outstanding player. He's a fine young man. Was in our camps last year and the last couple of years, and has leadership qualities. He's a great competitor. He's a good student, very bright young guy that I think is going to be very successful here. And give everybody an opportunity to play as freshmen. The more mature guys that learn more quickly are the guys that have the best chance to contribute, as freshmen. And, Landon's demonstrated all these qualities, but we certainly want to bring him along at his own pace, and when he's confident and ready to go, I'm sure he'll be a good player here.
Cecil.
Coach, new SEC rule in terms of 25 signings to deal with that affect you at all in the past 2 days?
Well, we were actually, I think you'll see that some people, we signed 26 guys. We had one spot available from back, so one of the mid-year guys went back. And all that. I think that, this is going to be a rule in the future that is going to be an NCAA rule. But I do think that it was much more difficult management, to hit the number right on, and not go over at all. And I think that, sometimes, for whatever reasons, whether it's medical reasons, academic reasons, maturity reasons, there seems to be there was so much of a negative reaction to this whole idea of what you all call gray shirting. But I think basically what we did is because of the cynical attitude a lot of people have toward whether coaches are really doing what's in the best interest of the young people that we coach, which I sort of resent, to be honest with you, because that's one of the things that we pride ourselves in. We actually took some opportunities away from guys that really wanted to come to Alabama that we couldn't sign, and they couldn't come here because we couldn't offer that option to them. And I don't really see how that's really good for the league. But it is what it is, and we'll manage it in the future. And everybody said they don't want anybody to oversign, but the fact of the matter is if you only have 20 scholarships to give and you sign 25 guys, you're still oversigning. But when you have a large class of seniors, which we did, and have a lot of scholarships available, then it's a little more difficult management.
Chase.
Couple questions, Coach. First, if you could comment on the two junior college cornerbacks or defensive backs, Dixon and Ballou.
Well, we were pleased that we were able to get both of those guys. We felt that with Daquan Menzie graduating and Dre deciding to go out early for the draft, that you always have to assess, do you have potential starters at those positions? And we only usually recruit junior college guys here if we have a need. Most of those guys have been very successful. And we were, Dion Ballou is a guy that we recruited out of high school. We thought he was a very, very good player. And, Terrell is a guy that we thought was one of the best junior college corners out there. So, again, we don't know how they're going to progress in our system and our program here, but we're excited about the ability that they have and how they may contribute, and how it gives us a little more experienced, a little more mature player to play at a position that we have a need created by the guys that we lost.
And secondly, a follow-up question on Landon Collins. His mother made some critical comments about Alabama in the media in the last week. Could you characterize the relationship you built with her and the other people around Landon?
Well, we have a very good relationship with the people around Landon. And, Landon's got a great family. Landon's a great person. We want to do everything that we can to help him be successful in the future. And we think he's a fine young man, and he's got a great opportunity to be successful here. And I just hope that everybody can be supportive in his decision. And, this is kind of a mutual partnership that we have with parents when they send their sons here to develop in our program, that we want to continue to try to develop the principles and values that most parents want for their young folks, and that's exactly what we want for them, just like I want for my own children. So it's a partnership, and we need to have very good relationships to continue that partnership in a positive way, and I'm sure we'll be able to do that with Landon.